you drinking on?
You know what? Today I'm gonna do a little soft and bubbly. Yeah, no, this is actually bubbly like a water break type of.
Oh, that's what they are.
Yeah. Whatever.
That was bubbly.
Hey.
That's how Plaza them talk.
Hey, people, what's going on? It's your boy Bob from MentorMe.com alongside.
It's your boy Mikey Advisor. What's going on?
Tonight we're talking about chasing the right bag, people.
The right one.
There's a problem in this world. A lot of people are chasing the wrong bag. You're chasing illegal shit. You're chasing bad activities. You're chasing bags that's putting you in jail. You're chasing bags that's getting you nowhere.
Chasing bags you're not ready for.
Exactly. You're chasing skills that you're obviously not talented for also. And this is a real problem. And because a lot of people are chasing bags of working for companies and you're not getting ahead in life. And we're going to talk about how do you get past this hurdle. So people, tonight's topic is about how do you start focusing on the right bag? How do you chase the right bag in life to have success? Now, we got to really understand, too, a big part of chasing the right bag is mindset. Because you got to understand mentally where you want to be in life. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Now, I know a lot of y'all heard that statement before, but a lot of y'all don't understand how important that statement is when it comes to real life.
And when you say mindset, what do you mean by that exactly?
Really think about it. The mindset is the strongest part. You have to first believe that it's attainable to, of course, chase the right bag.
Correct.
Because some people, they're chasing the bag right now. But the problem is they're chasing such a weak bag. Yeah. You're chasing the job bag. You're chasing a $15 an hour bag. You're chasing an $18 an hour bag. People, you got to start chasing bags that give you the lifestyle you want.
But respectfully,
10 years later.
Respectfully, Bobby, $15 an hour is not bags, right? There's a certain level you got to hit too before we start talking about bag talk, right?
The fact.
The little average bag is not the bag, right? Once you hit above average, you get in the bag.
Correct.
It don't take much in America. You hit the 60, 70,000, you above average. That's the bag. Now, there's levels to the bag, of course. That's still chump change, but it's still above the average. As long as you're doing above the average, you have more than $1,000. You got more than $1,000 in the savings. Trust me, you're doing much better than 40% of Americans. Okay, for an emergency. Most people can't afford it.
Hey, Mike, a lot of motherfuckers don't have $1,000 saved.
For an emergency. Not a lot.
Which is crazy.
We can look at the statistics. I think it's like 40-something%. I think it went up to 56 if I'm not mistaken.
Imagine.
It's a ridiculous
56%
amount.
56% of Americans don't have $1,000 saved. And they've been working all of their life. Some of them are in their 30s. So that means 30% of your life is gone.
Correct. So if an emergency happens right now, you need to drop 1,000. You can't get it.
A lot of people can't drop 1,000, Mike.
You can't go get it.
If they had 1,000, some people can't. If they had a $200 emergency right now, Mike, they got to just, of course, just probably
go
on
the chin.
That's it.
For $200, y'all.
You ask yourself, what have people been doing? Why are we not taught in schools? Why are we not taught to properly value ourselves and chase the proper bag that's going to elevate us to the next level of life? And how do we do that? Today we're going to talk about the hows.
Right.
How do you chase the right bag? What is the right bag? Because I get it. A lot of you have jobs. Some of you have 2 jobs, which makes no goddamn sense. Some of you have skills that don't get you nowhere in life. We're going to talk about chasing the right bag. We're going to talk about investing into the right companies. We're going to talk about investing into the right assets because that's where it's going to get you in life. People.
You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little different today.
What we got? We already got comments already.
This shit got better?
Feeling the 70% of adults. No, we can't play that.
Power on.
Sorry, I had a second phone running.
Oh,
no, you get it.
Bluetooth pairing.
No parrot, turn it off.
Power on.
All right, Mike, let's talk about.
I was gonna hit him with an intermission. They gotta hear my dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'll play it next week.
And then we get back. All right, after we paid our bills, you know, the commercial. But now, all seriousness, the reason we talked about how to get the right bag, and I believe you can agree, Bobby, as well.
Correct.
There's a way to go about it, and just because it's X amount of dollars doesn't mean it's the right bag.
Correct.
Right, and that's where I really want to start, because we spoke a little bit about the mindset, and I think the sequel to this is going to be not only how to get the right bag, but how to transition into a better job, right? Because people don't even know how to get a job, how to get a better one. They just know, let me just apply and submit applications blindly. But there is
a process,
a science to it.
Correct.
Not just to get any job, how to get a good job.
A high-paying job.
right? And when we talk about high paying, don't let it intimidate you. We're not saying you got to go get you a 6-figure job right away if you don't obviously have the skills.
Correct.
We're talking about high paying compared to what you make.
Correct.
So how you go from 15 to 30?
Dollars an hour.
You may not go there in one step. You may go from 15 to 25. But if you're not over the 25 plus range, you're doing something wrong and you're chasing the wrong bag. Because why? Inflation has just taken away $8 of your 25.
Correct. And for some of you that may not know what inflation is, I'm going to make it very simple. Inflation is simply saying this. The same bread that you bought last week, when you have to buy it again next month, it's going to cost you more dollars. So if it cost you $3 last month, it's going to cost you $6 to buy the same loaf of bread. That's what we call inflation. It's taking more of your dollars because the dollar has weakened. A lot of you need to understand what we're talking about tonight. This is so powerful because people, you're making 20 by theory, but you're making 12 in reality because of inflation. An hour.
Net taxes, you know, and we ain't even factor in the taxes, so you're really making less because you got to pay Uncle Sam, right? Eventually, whether you pay him now or later, you're going to pay him. So, unless you know the rules and the loopholes to the money. What's up, Kay? Now, here's the thing, right?
Building.
Here's the thing, right? I want to start with the how is more important than what. Okay? The how is more important than what. What do I mean by that, IG? What do I mean by that, Facebook, YouTube? How you make how you make your money is more important than what it is that you make. Case in point, I'm going to use this just as a base case.
Very true. Let's hear it.
How you make the 50 is more important than making 50, or how you make 100 grand is more important than what you make than the 100 grand. What do I mean? If you're putting 60, 70 hours a week, you making 100. You're chasing the wrong bag.
Facts.
Because why? If you're putting in that many hours, you're actually making a quarter or half of that. So that 100 really is 50 because you're working twice as much 100%. To make double.
100%.
Simple cost calculation. If I'm putting 80 hours a weekend, times that by 52 weeks, divide that by how many dollars I'm grossing for the year. That's what you're probably making a week. Divided by 40, that's what you're making an hour. You're chasing the wrong bag if you're extending more than you're getting back. If you got to put in an extra 15 hours here, if most of your paycheck is overtime and not bonus, there's a difference between the two. If most of your paycheck is overtime or your income is overtime and not bonus, you're chasing the wrong bag. See, we have to understand that a job needs to give you runway. What do I mean? You need to be able to have a life, people. You need to be able to get off, go to the gym, get your body right, because no matter how much money I give you today, if you get Jeff Bezos' bank account today and I say tomorrow or next week Friday you're going to die, which one would you rather? More time or that money?
Facts. You see, Mike, a lot of people aren't taught the reality that a lot of jobs is holding you back. Because the problem is a lot of you guys accept anything.
Correct.
Because when you get vulnerable, oh my God, they just hired me for $51,000 a year.
Right.
You divide that gross number by 12 months, divide that by 4 weeks, divide that by how many hours in a day, you really just put yourself in poverty. Because a lot of you don't understand, till this day as grown adults, gross versus net. If a company pays you $60,000 gross, you really get paid probably $45,000. That's Social Security, Medicare, and of course, federal taxes.
That's not including other pre-tax deductions.
Come on.
Your 401k, your medical, your dental, right? If your job is really fire, has a little legal benefit with it for $7 a month, right? But what Bobby's talking about is very crucial, y'all, especially for y'all on Instagram as well, because a lot of us, we spend so much time. The reason I say this, how you make your money is more important than what type of money you make
100%.
is because hours, time is the most important resource, is the most important currency we got. What we're spending with y'all right now, we can't get back. We've decided and budgeted, listen to me carefully, we've budgeted this time out weekly, every Thursday at a set amount of time, so we know how much we're spending here. Hence why it's very limited. An hour, hour and a half, maybe depending on the combo. But my point is this, y'all. If you're here watching this and you at work and you putting in that overnight time, you're messing up your sleep schedule, just to make how much exactly?
People really pay attention to that.
Is it really worth it?
People, this is a real question he's asking. A lot of you don't really absorb certain things sometimes. Some of you make 100,000 gross, but you're working 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
When do you sleep? When do you have freedom to build your growth,
Correct.
your wealth, your dreams?
Correct.
See, the how is very important.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an example. Today I had 2 clients.
Okay.
One of my clients, I was done with the client in maybe 35 minutes. I made $3,000. The next client, I was done maybe in an hour, maybe I think $2,400. I already surpassed 80% of Americans within those 2 hours.
Right.
Because again, I know my value.
Correct.
And when I get paid for things, I get paid at high skilled levels. And a lot of you understand why is that important for you. When you're doing things, it's not just going to work in any job. Does this job that I'm making 100,000 or 80,000 a year, am I working where I'm still having freedom, where I'm still having capacity to enjoy my life, happiness? Am I still able to travel the world? Am I able to travel, period? Hang out with my homegirls, my homeboys? Am I able to have a stress-free life with the type of job that I chose to have? Because you're the one that choose your jobs.
Correct. You sound that line. You fill out the W-4, W-5.
Come on.
You're the one that does. You say, yes, I agree. They give you the amount. You say, okay, great. Instead of saying, well, actually, what's the budget for this?
Correct.
I'm not even going to give you out too much gems tonight. But my point is, Bobby, I want you to talk about the lifestyle part of it.
Oh, this is
how and why, how versus what, right? When we're talking about the how versus what, then we're going to give you a solution to each of these steps. You got 3. We're going to go over tonight and we're going to wrap it up because we're going to teach you how to get the right bag. Now, trust me, there's levels to it. We're still chasing the bag as well.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? There's bags we haven't reached yet. But we're talking for people who are at a certain level and below or who's still trying to just figure out a basic bag.
for sure.
If you ain't got a basic bag or you're saying, okay, $60,000 is what I'm making, as an adult, you need to be way over that.
You know what? I've heard, and this is so crazy to me, right? You'll hear grown adults tell you they've been with a company for 10 years, 8 years, 12 years. And the most they made after 12 years, is $60,000, $40,000. People, you gotta look at your life and say to yourself when you're chasing the right bag, you've been working for a company, really evaluate yourself. Hold on. I've been working for this company. The most I saved in 5 years is probably $2,000. The most I got to show if I quit is nothing. This company does not give me the lifestyle I want. Because people, when you work for companies, you got to understand it's a platform they're giving you.
Yeah.
Now, how you invest and manage your money makes a difference to the lifestyle you're going to get out of that platform that they gave you. Because in exchange for your labor, they give you a paycheck.
Right.
But a lot of you don't realize, hold on, this paycheck will never give me the lifestyle that I want. And that's a problem.
It doesn't match it.
It doesn't match. That's why a lot of people, I never travel. Some people never been out their state.
Right.
Some people don't even have a passport.
They can't even leave their job early.
Oh my God.
You know why? You can't leave your job
Flexibility.
exactly. You don't have job flexibility, meaning, you know what? If I do X amount of job work for the day, no matter what, I'm going to get paid the same because I'm on what? Salary. I don't need to clock into Paychecks or ADP or log out every. So you're timed. The more they have to track you, the less valuable you are to an organization. Sure. Just understand that. So we talked about the how is better than what. And what we mean by that for people who just timing in, how you make your 100,000, how you make your 50,000 is much better than what exactly the dollar amount is you're making. Because why? If you're putting in extended hours, if you're not living a certain lifestyle, you're working long hours. You don't have time. You don't have weekends. You don't really got nothing. All you do is work, go to sleep, pay bills, repeat. That to me is not the right way to make that same amount of money, which you can go somewhere else, do less work, and work more efficiently and actually increase your value in the marketplace by working somewhere else. That gives you more skill sets, more exposure that can move you other places. So now that we spoke about how, before we get to it, what is the right way? It's many things. We don't even go waste because we can get into their behind all night on that. We can get into their behind all night on that. So we're not even going to address the lazy people right now. These are people that's like, you know what? Damn, I need to get a different bag. So we talked about the how versus the what. Now we're going to give you a solution to the how. How to do it the right way. Versus what?
If you have a job and your job is paying you, I'm going to use $20 an hour as economical number for you guys.
Correct,
okay?
correct.
The reality is you got to start to ask yourself, well, what job is going to give me a position if you want to stay in that job criteria? Because there's jobs, there's careers, there's skill sets.
Correct.
You could get licensed in something and obtain a skill.
Trade.
But I want you guys to always understand, if you're going for a trade, a career, or a job, go for a high-paying trade. Go for a high-paying job. Go for a high-paying career. Because while you're chasing 50 to 70, 50 to 60,000 a year, there's somebody chasing 300,000 a year at another job.
Correct.
And you have the same skills they do. But your laziness and vulnerability puts you in a position to say, let me take this job and get real comfortable and never readjust and say, you know what? This was just a starting point. It's now time for me to exit.
Yeah, I think the best way to look at it is what Bobby said. Is
Put your comments below, people.
First,
I want to hear what you got to say. How do you chase the right bag?
Is first figuring out, is what I'm doing now the best way to do it? Right? Is the way I'm making $40,000 now the best way to do it? Because if you're making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, there's probably better ways to do it based on the type of work you do, especially if you don't really like what you do. If you got to answer phone calls day and night,
100%.
If you got to do certain things, like there's other ways and other things that you may have to be new to. You may have to pivot industries. Okay, and we're going to talk about that next. But you may have to pivot in industry to say, you know what, there's no real money in here. Let me go somewhere else.
Correct.
Right? So the best way to first figure out is do a survey. And when I say survey, do research for the layman man. Do some research in the market, right? About what's paying X amount of dollars in this field. Where is the world going? What problems can I solve that don't require me to go get $100,000 in debt? It doesn't require me to go back to school for 8 years that I can solve today. What skills may I not like, but maybe I can do without having to do it. Maybe I can get into sales without actually having to sell.
Correct. See, a lot of people, if you already turn on your TV every day,
okay,
if you turn on social media every day, what are they doing to you guys? They're always selling you.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you know, sales is a very valuable skill set to
100%,
have.
100%.
Learning how to sell is very valuable. 90% of
the most
clients
valuable, actually,
that I have that's in the sales industry make the most amount of money.
Correct.
If you sell high-end properties, you make a lot of money. If you sell high-end services, you make a lot of money.
Correct.
A lot of you don't understand, one of the weaknesses that a lot of you carry that you may want to take a look at is learning how to sell. And what's crazy is just really sometimes taking a course.
Communication.
That's
Just
it.
learn
It's
how
really
to communicate
communicate.
first. Yeah. Get with communications. So we'll recap on the solutions, but that's the first thing is you want to figure out is do research on what are the most easiest ways that I can make X, Y, and Z, or figure out a plan to increase your salary by 10 to 15,000 per year within the next 3 to 4 years.
Correct.
Figure out what promotion can I get that can give me 10,000. What other company can I go to so you can get to a minimum plateau, a minimum goal, right? So once you get to that minimum goal, you can probably ride that for about 2-3 years to get that on your tax returns showing, right? Get used to that income, get used to that lifestyle, and then say, okay, boom, let me take that up.
How do you feel about the people that think a $2 raise is going to solve all their problems? What's wrong with those individuals with that type of mindset?
The problem, well, there's many things wrong with the mindset. The first thing is the whole mindset is wrong. You don't understand money, right? And that's fine because, and when I say it's fine because that's where you're starting doesn't mean you can't learn.
Correct.
Right? So when you multiply the 2 by, I mean that's getting
2 times 40 hours.
That's going to get eaten up in inflation anyway. So you're really not getting it. You know, it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion, right? So these 2 to 4% raise companies, that's an illusion, right? But I want to transition now to is your job, right, that you're currently working, is maybe the industry or the career that you're in, right, that you're working, or is the skill that you possess, that you, let's say you cut hair, whatever it is it worth it?
And you know what, Mike, that's a real good question.
Because people have an issue with letting go, or letting go from being the main one doing it.
You know what a lot, and this is very true, a lot of you get comfortable with what you understand. Instead of taking time to say, let me learn something new.
Correct.
That can make me more money, that's worth my time. You'll rather just stay complacent and transparent and never make adjustments in a world that's changing every second,
constantly
every
evolving.
minute. while people are making $1 million a week, $1 million a month, you're chasing $50,000.
Great question. I'm going to answer that for you right now.
What question we got?
What's the definition of worth? When we say worth it ties back to the first thing. Meaning is if you want to get to X amount of goal, or if you want to make X amount of dollars. Some positions and some careers require you to put in a lot to get to $100,000.
Correct.
Some coming in, you're closer to the neighborhood of $100,000.
Correct.
Right? Some require years of experience, certain type of company, more certifications, just so you can get that extra $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 bump. When you can go get a skill or go work in this industry, and coming in, you're at 90. Coming in, you're at 120 if you position it correctly. So when I say worth it, is your current job worth it? Meaning, if you're working at whatever you're working at and you're making $40,000, $50,000 a year, like, no, damn, is this worth it? Like, why am I even here? Meaning, what's keeping you? If you cut hair and you have a skill, yeah, you might be making money, but would you rather work in the business or on the business? And say, you know what, how can I automate my haircut process? Maybe can I put some people in position?
I really like what Mike just said too, and I want you guys to understand. When we talk about worth, which is a good question, you go back to mindset again. Because there's two different types of people. There's one person that would apply for a job at Walmart and go work the retail side. Because they want to, of course, clean aisles and rezone aisles and restock aisles all night long. And there's the next person that can say, I'm going to work at Walmart, but I want to work at corporate. Because I want to make my 100,000 from the beginning. I want to start off at 90 or $120. Because there's certain people I know that work at Walmart, they started making 120, 130.
Correct. But to that point, Bobby, what changed those people, right? The difference between those people and the stalker at midnight.
Yeah, correct. Lifting boxes, back breaking.
The difference,
that type of shit, yeah,
is the knowledge. They know something different. They know more and they have more knowledge than just, these peanuts go right here. All right, cool. Scan, let me put these bees right. They bring more value to corporate because they understand, compliance on a security level for technology. They understand maybe accounting. Correct. And have some experience with that. Or they may have just learned a skill, right? That says, you know what, damn, this is what they're looking for. And coming in, I could probably make 60, 70. Or they may say, you know what, we need salespeople to sell our commercial accounts to whatever. We need legit, whatever it is.
This is very true.
We're in the information age, and people just have this mindset, well, I need to go to school first just so I can get this. Guys, school gets you in the door.
That's it. That's all school
does. It gets you the call, but not the job, right? So the importance of where you want to position yourself, right? And also when I say, is your job worth it? Is the career worth it? Is the skills worth it? Some skills you have are dated. They require a lot of labor for you to make X amount of dollars.
Correct.
When you can just say, you know what, instead of all that labor, I'm going to make some money. I'm going to stack up 2-3 months of whatever my expenses are and put in 2 months of focus here, 90 days of focus here, and reinvent myself. Let me position myself in a company that's a Fortune 500. Stop working for these goddamn mom and pops.
And I'm going to say this, Mike, is so true. Mom and pops ain't going to pay you shit. And I love mom and pops and all love, but we're talking a good, strong topic. We're talking high-value company. Mom and pops ain't going to give you shit. Here's $300 for the week, slave you 50 hours. Look, you can't say we ain't help you. That's not what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about companies that are going to pay you a six-figure salary, maybe $200,000, $300,000 down the pipeline, even more. A lot of you need to understand this too. You got to look at what you're going after. Mm-hmm. A lot of you are chasing weak positions because it's so easy to get into. You don't like to challenge yourself at an interview. When that interview, that HR hits you with a question, so why you? I just really need a job. And, see, that shit doesn't get you nowhere.
This is why we're going to do the second.
People, you gotta understand.
Because Bobby's been telling me for a while.
This is a real problem. We gotta teach you guys how to go through a job interview. So we're gonna actually do a skit on the next video, kind of show you how the questions they throw, how to rebuttal back to it.
Right.
We're gonna do
before you even get to the interview, you gotta first get to the interview.
For sure.
And that part right there is a skill.
Oh my God.
And before you even entertain people that's in your inbox on LinkedIn, if you already have LinkedIn or if you don't, but if you do, hey, before I schedule a call with you, what's the budget for this role? How much they willing to pay? Because if they're not willing to pay, when I'm wasting time talking to you, explaining myself, blah, blah, blah.
Somebody said, how you going to find a company to pay you? So hold the fuck up. How you going to find a company to pay you $100,000? Do you really want to go on it? People, Indeed alone.
Forget all that.
But LinkedIn, let's not even go to LinkedIn.
Forget all that.
LinkedIn alone.
I
got companies asking me for me to work for them for $100,000 all day long.
Listen,
I'm not interested. That's just me. People, you got to understand perception is everything.
Guys,
LinkedIn has millions of jobs waiting for you.
Bobby, there's pay transparency laws that have been put into place in certain states. What that means is that some states now, not all 50, but some states already have it in law where they, like California, they're about to start doing.
Oh, okay.
They're about to start putting the pay in the post of the range they're going to pay transparency. But to ask the question, how are you going to find? You're already behind the 8 ball. Now, that may not be how you're asking it, but the way we're reading is how you're going to find. That's very simple to find. I only search positions. That's actually step number 1. Search, reverse engineer based off the income.
Correct.
When you go into LinkedIn, you go into and search and filter by salary range.
I ain't filtering by nothing else except salary.
The more the company gives me,
I want to know what you pay. That's the first and only question.
Because why?
What do you pay?
You're throwing darts on the wall hoping they stick and not knowing, well, damn, whatever the position is, why do you think when you put into Google, no matter what position you're looking for right now, no matter what position you're looking for, all you got to put in position name, salary, you're going to find it. Glassdoor, Indeed, they're going to have averages, levels, FYI, right? The reason they have these pages is because salary.com, they have this because people want to, especially now in the information age.
People want to know, man. People want to know.
It's easier more than ever to find out what the base salary is, and I'll do you one even better. Okay, cool.
Great question, by the way. Taki, I can't say that name.
Go on LinkedIn. Whoever's doing your position, I just did this. Somebody wanted to go into the position I was in before I got promoted. Okay, great. Oh, I'm about to interview for such and such. I just wanted to get with you to pick your brain and see how you feel about the. Okay, cool. I'm easy to approach. Oh yeah, sure. Let's talk on this day, and I give him the rundown. Now I may have been person number 5 or person 15, but I told him, hey, this is what you're gonna expect to make. Because if you got bills to pay, you got a family to pay. You can't go in thinking, oh, this job sounds legit. It sounds elite. All right, we're starting off at 35,000.
That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I don't even want to apply for that. 35,000. A company saying they're gonna pay you 35. You're obviously not gonna meet me at my $85,000 price target. So I'm not even gonna apply. So we need to go through one day. We're gonna go through an interview, how we search, how you dress, interview questions, rebuttals. We're gonna give you that because we now want to really give a lot more how-tos. I like some questions she got here. K West says, can you elaborate on the idea of it's not about how much money you make, but it's rather how much you save? Just some examples and how that can actually be beneficial.
I love that.
You want to grab that? You want me? I'll go be. I'll pick
we
it back.
We both gonna grab it because
I'll pick back behind you on that. That's a great question, by the way. K West in the building.
I was just on Clubhouse and I just spoke about this in the room, right? And I was explaining to people that I have people that I deal with who make $5 million, $7 million a year. Their expenses are 4.3 of the 5 million. Their expenses are 6 of the, because why? They got a house in Cali, they got a house in Fort Lauderdale, they got a house in New York. Don't forget they got 13 cars. 8 of them got $4,000 notes on it. They got taxes to pay on the homes. They got PMIs. They got all these things. They got strip club habits. They got girls they want to put on payroll just because they should. They have so many things that they're paying that's coming out every month that if the money doesn't keep coming in, they're broke overnight.
Correct.
So what you make is definitely important, but what you keep is more important. But here's the problem with that. If you don't make enough, ain't nothing left to keep. If you don't make enough in the current environment, there's nothing left to keep. Say, oh, I can live on 35. Listen, you can only bring expenses down so much.
Correct.
Even if you live on somebody's couch, and you paying $200 a month, you got a $50 phone bill, and you're taking the bus. You can only save so much. You can only reduce your expenses so much. But what there is no limit on is the increase in income and potential and the value you can bring to the marketplace, which is what I want to drive home with this live today is productivity. How valuable are you to the organization?
Okay. I like this question. I'm going to tell you how I feel, right? Is it true to believe just because you make $100,000, that doesn't necessarily mean you have any savings at the end of the year? Let me explain to you why this happens a lot. Person A, person B. Person A makes $40,000 a year. Person B makes $150,000 a year. Why is that person A who makes $50,000 a year is able to save $40,000 a year? Because of how they manage their money. We still have a lot of grown adults at grown adult ages who don't understand every time you get paid every 2 weeks, you should be saving 30% of gross.
Minimum.
With meaning save first, PYF, then pay your bills. Yep. A lot of people who make more money, sometimes they go right into just spending. All they know is spending and paying bills. They never save.
Disposable so much.
To believe, exactly, to believe in this world, just because you make $100,000, you're automatically a better saver or money management individual than a person who makes $50,000 is not true. Not. There is so many adults that I sit down with who make less than $50,000, but they're able to save in the last couple of years 40 or 90% of their salary, while this person is making $100,000 to maybe $190,000, don't even have $5,000 to their name because that person has poor money management. Correct. That's why we always believe in life. It's not just about how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Correct. It's how you manage your money. Correct. A lot of grown adults still have saving problems. Yeah. All they know how to do is spend money. Right. And this is why a lot of grown adults at grown adult age don't have shit to show, don't own any properties, correct, don't own any assets, correct, and they're struggling because all they do is make money and spend it. While this smart person is not just making money, they're managing their money. Correct. They're investing their money, correct, into stocks, into crypto, into real estate, creating passive income, into businesses. But not only that, years later, they're able to retire early.
Bobby, you said something You said something that was important. Within how many? Within a few years, they've been able to save up 90% of the income. Meaning,
correct. This is make sure you're sharing this live right now. I see a lot of comments coming in on whatever we on YouTube, Facebook.
Meaning,
we got a lot of people tuning in tonight. We're talking. How do you chase the right bag?
How do you chase it? So what you just spoke about is that when you're saving people, you cannot stop at 3 months.
Correct.
You cannot stop at month number 9. Like, okay, I'll save enough. Let me start spending some of this shit. No. It needs to be a habit. It may take 3, 4, 5 years to save up $30,000 in your position. It may take 5 years to save up $40,000. It may take 2 years to save up $20,000. You have to figure out your numbers and manage it. And some of us don't like to sit down and have the wherewithal to look at what's in front of us because we know our bills exceed our expenses.
Very true.
Instead of doing something about it, we just lay down and let life whoop us in our ass and be like, okay, cool, I'm going to just deal with it when it comes. You could try that, but obviously it ain't been working. Now, we're going to get into some more comments here, but the reason we spoke about, is it worth it? Is your job, career, your skill, if all that's worth it, is because some of y'all doing shit that just ain't worth it. Or you've been doing it for so long.
That's all you know.
That's all you know. And where you was at was supposed to be a stepping stone. If you got a little 15, 20, that's fine.
I love that statement.
That's fine. But it's supposed to be a stepping stone.
Mike, you know when I learned that a lot of grown adults is in some real trouble? When you in your 30s, when you in your 40s, and the most you got is $1,000 goddamn dollars in your bank account. And the only thing that saves your ass is tax season. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's when I learned a lot of grown adults either don't make enough money or they're not managing their money.
Correct.
Player D, I'm going to answer your question real quick. We got big player JD in the building for wherever he's from. He's a warehouse manager. The question he has is sometimes they don't list the correct amount of pay. Then when you interview for the position, they pay you way less. So I guess he interviewed for a job that pays $30 an hour. They ended up giving his ass 18. Now here's my thing. Player JD, what's up, baby? Here's my thing to JD. One thing I want people to understand.
That's the wrong amount. That shit was the right amount.
One thing I want you guys to understand. I don't care what TV tells you, what you learned at church. I'm not a pastor. I want you to understand what I'm going to tell you tonight. You work in this country for what you're worth.
Correct.
If you decide to accept $18 and not say, hold the fuck up, this is not what was agreed upon based on your advertisement.
Exactly.
This is not based on the advertisement. They will lock you in there and say, okay, well, he accepted the 18, let's keep it moving.
Right.
We got to learn to speak up at jobs. Some of y'all, I get it. You're vulnerable. You're desperate for any job. You get into this mindset. Well, damn, I know I seen them say 30, but I'm gonna just take 14. No. Hey, John, how you doing? Pleasure to meet you. Let me tell you. I'm gonna give you guys an example. Hey, John, I appreciate the opportunity, but hey, just give me a little bit of clarification on the Indeed post. I've seen $30 an hour, which equates to hypothetically $71,000 a year. Hypothetically, I'm not sure how do we get to 51. Can you explain to me the gap difference of what I'm?
What you just did right there was already that by itself was already too much. Because why, Bobby? Not everybody is a great communicator, right?
That's true, but I need a motherfucker know what he talking about.
Yeah, correct.
He's seen 30, they gave him 18, Mike. I want to know where my motherfucking $12 at.
Here's why.
Here's why. Somebody need to explain that shit to me.
Here's why. I'm not laughing at you, Blady. I'm laughing at the situation. It happens all the time. I've spoken with
shouts out to Big Play JD, baby.
I spoke with recruiters about this, right? And this is what we do all the time, shooting ourselves in the foot, right? We plastical burst ourselves every fucking day. And what do I mean by this, right? Every recruiter, no matter what it is that you're hiring for, unless it's a really low level, most positions have what's called a budget, especially if this recruiter does not work directly with this company. But even when they do, even more of a factor, they're looking to give you the least amount. Because why? If they can go back to their head recruiter or their head job and boss and say, hey, listen, we're hiring for X job. The range is 50 to 70,000 a year. We need 20 people. Of those 20 people, Bobby bring in 15 at 55,000.
I like Big Play JD.
Bobby bring in 15 people at 55,000. Congratulations. He saved our corporation X amount of dollars.
Correct.
While Maria giving everybody 68,000 at the high for the 5-7 people she bring. They're like, well, damn, why you blowing the budget so much? But what I'm saying is you need to know you're always leaving something on the table. They can never, by law, they can't say, oh, we're not going to give you the job because you've asked for too much. That's not how it works, at least in real companies, right? With human resource laws. They're going to say, well, is there any way we can meet in the middle if they really want you? If they really want you. So if you go to the job and it's $30 an hour, they love to say, hey, what do you expect? Most people go to interviews and just expect to just sit there and be asked questions. No. The interview is not unilateral, meaning it's one way.
It's bilateral.
Just the way y'all asking me questions, I got some goddamn questions for y'all, and it ain't gonna be at the end. I'm gonna introduce. They're gonna say, "Tell me about yourself." Well, thank you so much for the time here. Before I tell you about myself, and even before you're on the phone, now they got to do this phone screen thing before they get you to the real interview. Perfect, even better. I don't gotta waste time to get dressed. Hey, Maria, thank you so much for taking time for me. Before we get started here, I know you got some questions for me. I'd love to answer them, but here's the thing. My question really to this position, because I definitely don't want to waste your time or mine.
Listen to his tone. Listen to his delivery, people.
I don't want to waste your time or mine, and I definitely appreciate the opportunity because it seems like it might be a great opportunity, but I just want to be sure. What's the budget right now the company has for this role? And you're asking as if like you're questioning because you're really curious. You're being genuine, not like, so what's the budget? Like, no. That's not how you do it. Because now you're coming from a position where you're sounding like authoritative, like you got some demands you can make. When you ain't got no goddamn degrees, you ain't got no skills in the business, you ain't worked in the industry. No. Hey, Bobby, how you doing, sir? Yeah, I see that you're looking for a receptionist for the front. Just to be clear, what do you have budgeted for this role? I just want to make sure I'm the right person for you. And it matches and aligns with what I'm looking for. You know what you just did when you said that? Put yourself to the top of the list. Oh, we gotta study him a little bit better.
For sure.
He takes initiative and he knows what he's worth.
And this is true because here's the thing, guys. Big Player JD, I see you told me he commented back and said, look, he ended up leaving. He said he make more money at Uber and Lyft.
That's what I'm talking about.
I can't blame you. JD, let me tell you something, man. And I love how he said this. He said at the end of the day, he also told him, look, y'all owe me gas money for wasting my goddamn time. See, I mess with Big Player JD. I love what Norman was popping. Norman, Glory, Dyer in the building, my dog in the building. He says the most variable cost for any company is you as an employee, your pay grade. People, I want you to understand, this is why we're talking about this. Companies don't care about you.
Nope.
The first thing they're going to do is fire you. People, a recession is on its way right now. Do y'all understand? Y'all see how many companies are firing workers? Next year is about to get worse.
You saw what happened today?
What company did today?
Today, well, they didn't fire nobody yet. But today, the company that has been on the growth since the beginning, today said, hey, listen, we're doing a complete hiring freeze. Y'all motherfuckers.
Take on them terms.
Meta and Facebook, right? This is what we on right now, right? They're not hiring nobody no more. A freeze, not like we're going to slow down, a freeze. Why? Because they're going through what's called a restructure. And so what they said on Bloomberg, CNBC, he basically net just said this. It's my company. I'm going to run it how I want to run it. Right now, we're doing a restructuring. Basically means that you are in the hands of someone else. Now, just because you're employed doesn't mean there's something wrong. Like Bobby said, there's people chasing $300,000 bags, people chasing $30,000 bags at that same company. There's people chasing $3 million bags at that company. So the most variable cost is the people who obviously cost the most produce the less, especially the people at the bottom, rank and file.
Correct.
But if you're up there, yeah, you can get let go even quicker than somebody at the bottom, but it's much harder because why? In your contract, they got to pay you to get up out of here. Something called severance. A clock in, clock out person ain't got that. A $30,000, $40,000 person ain't got that, right? So for them to sever ties with you because you and that person has agreed a 4-year contract with XYZ amount of stock, this and that, if something happens, we'll give you 2.5 years of your pay. Damn, it's going to cost us more to let go of this person than to come in.
And I love why he's talking about stocks of companies, 401ks, 479 plans. A lot of you don't understand that some of the companies you work for, their incentive plans is more valuable than the compensation.
100%.
You've been in the company so long, but you never invested enough in their retirement or 401k or investment plan. You would have been 5 times wealthier if you understood the value of it.
Correct.
Because a lot of you, when you get these incentive plans, you don't even read the brochures.
No.
You don't take time to understand what incentive plans you have. They're taking too much money out of my check.
Yeah.
But if you really paid attention, 5 years of that, you would probably making. I got a lady right now, one of my clients. I just speaking to her from Maryland. She got in her retirement $2.7 million. Been in the company only 6 years.
Yeah.
$2.7
because a lot of that was gifted in the form of salary, restricted stock units.
These things.
Right. So my point is to what Bobby's saying, and I got a client I spoke with yesterday. He got between Schwab and TD, which they're about to merge now, $5.7 million. Wanted the company to get a line of credit against that so he can renovate his $1 million home. He would actually said he wants to get a line of credit against it, $1 million, so he can against his home.
Correct.
So my point of saying that is people, there's different types of bags you can get with the company, but here's what people don't understand as well. I spoke with an HR person. Did you know that most of y'all go to jobs and you wait 90 days before, or 180 days, 6 months before you start getting these benefits? What she told me, what most people don't know, you can easily negotiate that. If they really want you, hey, listen, I know there's I've read online there's maybe a 90-day wait period and with full benefits. I like to get those benefits day one when I start.
The motherfuckers ain't gonna negotiate shit. You know why they're not gonna negotiate?
They're gonna be like, I didn't know they could do that because you didn't ask.
A lot of you are so scared when you're at a job interview. You're so scared to ask.
You didn't even get the job yet.
You didn't even get the job. You're scared to ask them, what is my starting pay?
Right.
The most people, I don't give a damn what interview you've been through with these companies. Well, the truth is, we all know we're here for the money. We're not here to really do what the job really wants solely. We're here for the money because we want a certain lifestyle. But what some of you don't realize, when you're chasing the wrong bag with these jobs or careers or some of these low-paying skills, you don't understand the reality, people, that at the end of the day, what you're chasing, the bag you're chasing, will never let you retire.
Correct.
Will never put you in a position of wealth. Will never put you in a position to ever see life any other way but just on the low-class level. This is why we're talking about this. When you're chasing the wrong bag forever, you won't retire. You're going to believe that retirement is at 59 and a half. You're going to believe that you could only travel once every 5 years. You're going to believe that you're going to die at this age with this amount of money. People, things are changing. You could get wealthier much quicker. You can get richer much quicker.
You can increase your salary much quicker.
There's so many opportunities in this world today. There's jobs at home that pay 3 times more than jobs that you physically have to walk into.
Exactly.
The world is in a world where we're going to IT, autonomous vehicles, a lot of clouding companies, a lot of scamming is going on online. Guess what? If you could catch scammers, which is cybersecurity,
you don't want to get into
these type of careers or jobs or license can make you thousands more.
And to that point, Bobby, I want to get to this last point, which is talk about wealth and legacy, right? Is what you're doing, is what you're working in, is the industry you're in, can you leave some wealth? Can you leave some legacy?
Motherfuckers at Walmart, Mike. Motherfuckers at companies that ain't leaving them nothing. See, some of these people don't understand the job you work at, you're not going to be wealthy. You're not going to leave nothing behind for your family. And that's not fair to your kids.
Yeah.
That's not fair to your spouse.
Your job should be to research deeply about, if you're interested about an industry, research deeply in that industry what gets paid more and go down the list.
For sure.
Figure out what the requirements are. We're gonna do a series on this, but I need you to understand. If you want to get into, whatever, if you just see that you like, managing projects and stuff, then let me get into project management.
Why not?
150,000, 120,000 minimum, right? But now you're not gonna start there. You may start at 60,000, 70,000, probably more than your 40 right now. But you can go and say, you know what, Dan, what do I need to do to become more valuable in this? Where can I go? Oh, I can go get my CAPM, right? You certified assistant project manager, right? And then you can go get what's called a PM, right? Which is the PMP, the real project management professional degree, right? Certification. These things require time, skill. This shows that you're a practitioner.
Mike,
that you do what you do. Same with cybersecurity. Bitches are scamming and robbing all day. People getting breached. People getting breached all day. Get some of the bag. Security engineers making $300,000. Now you don't have to go be an engineer, but you can be a compliance consultant. Saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go get this vulnerability management, this free certificate. Learn how this shit
I'm
needs
about
to be.
Post it. I'm about to post it and tell y'all these top 8 occupations that all you need to do is get certified. That makes you minimum $150,000 a year starting. 3 months of certification. I'm gonna be posting it. I'm gonna try to do it maybe tomorrow or Monday. I'm gonna post 8 jobs right now that you just need to be certified. No school needed. Certified.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you something.
And you will see the difference of what type of money you make. You guys, a lot of you are so stuck in this world of call center bullshit. Okay? You're so stuck in the world of doing the same type of occupations like everybody else.
You ain't got.
I love doing commercial real estate. You know why? Because a lot of people like me are not in it. They're scared. They're intimidated to sell a $2 million, $5 million, $12 million building. I'm glad I do commercial. Because now look what's happening. Look at people who's selling residential. 90% are struggling right now because they can't sell shit.
Yeah.
See, that's why you put yourself in an environment to keep you broke. Be smart. Work smart, not hard.
Right.
That's why I like commercial. Sell 1 property a year. I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
Transition. You got to learn how to transition in lifestyle, right? So do something that you don't have to physically go into, right?
Work smart, man. Know your work, man.
Guys, I'm gonna tell y'all something like this. Right now is the best time to get into technology. I'm telling you this right now. There's so many bags in technology. There's so many, especially now because of technology.
We talked a lot about that.
There's so many bags in finance. So if you already got degrees in finance and everything, you've been in finance. There's so many bags in that in technology firms, in the technology industry. There's so many bags in just process improvement, right? So what I mean by that, this is stuff that people can do even if you're not technical, specifically in sales, an industry called pre-sales, right? Before the sale is even made, you're the person that's just demoing the project. And let me show you this demo. Let me show you how Salesforce works. Let me show you how Zoom works. Let me show you how da-da-da-da-da. If they make a sale, you get some of that on your check. Coming in, you make it 80, 90, 130.
Mike, would you believe that there is grown adults, Mike, that have never felt $90,000 a year? There's grown adults that have been living their whole life. Gross, Mike. Shit. Some people's W-2 have never said that in the history. And they're going to 40 years of age.
Oh yeah, no, that's a disgrace. Now, if you're young and you below certain age, I mean, I might see it, but if you start hitting closer to that 50, you never even crack that ceiling. It's like, okay, what are we doing out here? You obviously need a new skill.
You know what? Big player JD, sorry to cut you off, Mike. I'm gonna answer him real quick.
No, go ahead.
Big player JD, I fought with you what he said. They won't do it. They wait for that dollar raise. People, let me talk about a raise for a moment. For a lot of you that chase $1 or $2 raises at work, people, math doesn't lie to you. Math won't lie to you. If you work 40 hours a week and they give you $1 raise, 40 times $1, right, that's $40. Yeah. There's usually 4 weeks in a month. 4 times 4 is 160. Right. Times that by 12. Right. 160 a month will not solve all your problems. So to believe in this world, and if you get $1 or $2 raise, which is $280 extra a month, that will solve your problems, you're lying to yourself.
Be clear about what a raise is, Bobby. Big player, yeah, I appreciate that, but let's be clear about what a raise is.
Big player JD, baby, I see you. What?
If you're working and getting $18 an hour, you go somewhere else and get $21 an hour, you give yourself a what? 8-quarter raise.
Imagine.
That's what you did. Meanwhile, you got John over here who got a call from his boss. Hey, no, we're going to give you this now. A $20,000 raise.
Who made more sense? Where did it make more sense for you to get the raise? See, the biggest thing I realized with some adults, not all of you, you got to start looking at real numbers. So if I could give you guys some advice before we close out, number one, write down your bills that you have every month. Do a budget sheet. At the end of the day, look at how much money you have left over after you pay your bills. Ask yourself, what job could give me 3 times this amount of money per month?
Correct. Or 2.5.
Or 2.5. Or 2.
Start with 2 times and then go to 2.5, then 3. Get yourself up.
If your bills are $4,000, you need a job paying you $8,000 every month or $12,000.
Gross.
Right. Then you say to yourself, okay, cool. What skill, what license, or what job or career, what industry gonna give me that number? I need $12,000 gross a month.
Potentially, without having to work so hard or put so many years in.
Now you're looking at effort, like he said.
The fast track is what I'm talking about. That's where we're talking about the effort.
Exactly.
How are you gonna get your bag?
Because 12 what? 12 at 12, 144,000. Mm-hmm. Now I say to myself, it's not just like my saying. I don't want to slave myself while trying to make this 12,000.
Correct.
What job is going to put me in a place where I'm in AC, laid back, or I'm at home with my laptop? I don't want to work hard while making this 12,000.
Did you know there's some skills you have to learn that you can go learn in 3-6 months, right? Maybe 1 month, right? Like I'll talk about with sales, technology sales. But some skills you learn in 3-6 months. Let's just say fucking a year, right? Or 9 months, and because they really you can learn them in less than that, but 9 months. To where if you really dial in on those in that skill,
correct,
and you work for a corporation, get you a better job, high paying, you got more time on your hands. You know you can start your own consulting business on the side with that skill. So if you learn how to design software on the side, say, no, I'm an engineer. I work for Amazon. I work for Okay, getting paid 130. You could be on the side on Upwork making an additional 130 because you design a website. You design it from scratch, making apps from scratch. You're a security consultant. You do security for your job and say, you know what, boom, boom, boom. You got these companies say, you know what, I just got hacked. Don't worry about it. I'm going to assess your situation, look to see where your vulnerabilities are.
And that's so powerful.
You know how important that is?
People pay attention to what he said.
Come on, man.
You work for a high-paying company. You've learned the skill while working there. You start doing a side hustle because of what you learned while working at a multi-billion-dollar or multi-million-dollar company. Do you understand what they're going to pay you as a consultant on the side if you start your own?
Correct.
Because you can start doing little side hustles. People, today alone, I did 2 clients, maybe made together maybe $7,000 in 2 hours. Mm-hmm. As a consultant.
Correct.
Do you understand that's 2 hours, $7,000? Mm-hmm. While some of you have to work all month to make $7,000.
Some people gotta work 2 months.
That's crazy. Where does it make more sense to make your money? That's why a lot of people, they come to me, call me, or DM me, book me for shows. I always say, look, a lot of y'all want to get rich.
But what do you know?
But here's the truth. And some of you work for companies and you're seeing a rich company. Why don't you copy and mimic what they're doing and just start doing it on the side to make extra income. But some of y'all rather just work there and sit there for. It's like me working at a cloud company, and I see that this company making billions of dollars doing cloud services for people. Okay, well, damn, what he doing? Okay, hold on, what software, what server? Okay, all right, let me start server RS, cloud RS on the side.
Right, find a niche,
Yeah,
or create a service.
on the weekend, I'm doing my thing.
Create a service that they can buy out. Salesforce buys a lot of companies, right? They bought Slack. Slack was its own thing, like its own little messaging thing. They bought Slack, which is a messaging board company, that so they can use internally.
Correct.
These are small little $1 billion deals being done. So the guy who made Slack, boom, got bought up by Salesforce. Now he got brought in and is a high position in sales. So my point is this, guys. Even if you don't go do your own thing on the side, you ain't gonna be no $1 billion corporation. Because for some of y'all, you don't need to do that. You need to focus on that job and do better on. Don't do no side hustle. Because y'all are not good bosses, right? Everybody can't be a good boss. But if you're working for a certain type of company, figure out, okay, damn, what is most valuable for this company? What is the most positions open? If you look at the company's job board, damn, they got a lot of engineering positions. Shit, I need to look at some of the engineering positions. And then look to see, man, is this something I can do? Okay, maybe this ain't something I can do, but maybe what else in this industry can I do that makes money? Oh, I know about this. You know how many useful videos out there? Guys, if y'all want it, you're going to get it. That's my point.
And I'm going to say this too, man, while Mike talking. You see how he talking about engineering? I love things that other people are scared to do.
Yes, man.
When the next person is scared to do something or something that is difficult because they got to study a little bit more often throughout the day instead of hanging out, that's where you want to be. That's where y'all want to be. A lot of y'all stay broke because y'all love easy shit.
Yeah. Man.
A lot of y'all stay in these low-paying jobs because y'all don't like challenges. And I'm gonna give you a funny one before I close out.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. What's that company called? Open Door. Open Door is a company that buys homes. Open Door CEO was talking the other day. It's a publicly traded company, maybe at $3, the stock tank almost 90%.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you what they also said. We don't just make money off of selling homes, we also make money off of buying Shopify websites from regular people. So imagine you built a business and it's profitable. Open Door buys your business, scales it, and then sells it to another company again. People, there's a lot of money here. And some of you don't realize you're working for a company, seeing millions of dollars get made every day. Why don't you start a little hustle on the side if you're that type of person? Right. Then your hustle one day becomes a full career. You quit the company, then sell the company to a company that wants to buy it. Right. Acquisition target. Right. You're a multi-millionaire.
Overnight then.
And this is what a lot of these guys do that work for Facebook, Twitter. They go work with the elite companies, learn what they need to learn, throw the deuces after they got what they needed. All of a sudden, just like how Bumble was formed.
Correct.
The lady worked for, what was it, Match or something, one of them companies.
Yep.
Learn the talent. Open up the Bumble app.
Learn the business.
Made a beat. Then all of a sudden, I think she sold it, or she maybe still have the business.
Yeah.
But she had to learn it.
She went public. But see, here's the thing, guys. What we're talking about is just ingenuity. You know, especially our community, right?
Don't give them the ingenuity. That's too much vocabulary. Give them something lighter now.
The drive, the hustle, right?
I'm just messing with you. I love y'all.
Man, we can do more than what we think we can do. That's all I got.
You gotta put your mind to it.
You gotta control what's in that brain. You can't just wake up and start scoring that BS. You need to when you wake up in the morning. What you need to do: go on YouTube, go to motivation, and start listening to different shit. Let's start there. That's level one. Because why is this gonna at least start messing with your brain? It's gonna have you start thinking a little differently. You know what I'm saying? Do that every morning while you're getting ready. Just put YouTube on, put on motivation. Just I can do it. When Steve Harvey face on it, and just let the shit play. 30, 15 minutes. Okay, play another one. And just keep doing that, you're going to start seeing yourself thinking differently, understanding things differently. But you have to figure out, how can I be the most valuable with the least amount of work? How can I make the most money with the least amount of work? If I work 40 hours, it was a busy week.
Correct. And this is for all of you. We did this live to really give you guys a better understanding on the right bags. Because we see social media. People
let's talk about the bags they're not ready for before we leave. The bags are not ready for.
We see people chasing cars, jewelry. We see people chasing things that bring no value. And this is why we had to do this video, because some people taking so many bad bags.
Yeah.
It's leaving them 10 years behind.
Bobby, talk about the people who are chasing these bags like they want to jump into Airbnb right away.
Oh my
or they
God.
want to jump into Turo right away. Or they want to jump into something that normally, or the correct way of doing it, you need to have a certain amount of savings and cash liquid ready to go.
This is
and
very
y'all
common.
jumping.
This is very common. A lot of people have this thing once they see something on social media, because they're vulnerable, they jump into it. Trucking is not meant for everybody. And understand, even with trucking, there's a lot of people that don't even like trucking because they're on the road all day, 80% of the year. It's labor intensive.
We saw a dude that
but
said
it also, I get it. Some truckers make money, some truckers don't. I have trucker clients who make 150, 200.
Right.
I have trucker clients who own a trucking company, barely could net $40,000. While this one is working for a company making $150, this one is owning a company making 40. Obviously, it's not for everybody. Even with the Airbnb, before you go put yourself in debt and buy a house and then go buy in the wrong neighborhood, why don't you, like I said before, lease the home, lease it, then do a sublease to somebody else to fill the industry a little bit.
Right.
Before you just jump in. Instead of, even with Turo, buying a Range Rover, putting yourself in debt for $80,000, buy a motherfucking what's that electrical car? Prius?
Prius.
Buy a Prius for $7,000, $10,000, just to get a feel of the market, to see what's the pros and cons of Turo before you jump all in.
And if you want to do that type of business, the logistics of it, hey, I'm coming to your car right now. Dan, where my car at? Dan, you need a track. Certain businesses I don't want to do.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Turo. I'm not interested in
those bags ain't big enough for me.
Sure,
I got 50 cars right now. And
I like Airbnb though, even though I haven't touched it. I love it. I like the concept. I just don't like. I think Airbnb has a lot of management, but I am a fan of Airbnb. Airbnb makes a lot of sense.
Trust me, I like it. I like it.
Airbnb.
I like it if you got the right mentor.
Correct.
I don't like it just because you just want to get into it. I like it if you have the right business execution and strategy. Because why? We're going into an economic slowdown. So unless you're in an area that's close to hospitals, where hospitals will pay you per bed because they need these nurses to be close, or you get with live-in companies, which are the medical field, and they're going to pay these people, these live-in nurses, to stay there, and they got guaranteed bread coming in. But if there's a slowdown that comes, and you're, by theory, in the hot spots,
correct,
and people stop spending money as much because the race is ridiculous, they're getting laid off, companies ain't hiring because company freezes.
Correct.
Remember, every recession, every pandemic is different.
A lot of people need to understand that, and right now we're about.
And that's a hospitality industry, so just keep that in mind as we go into a slowdown.
People understand when you say slowdown. I told you guys from a couple years back we're going into a recession. The recession is officially on the tip. We're going in.
We already started technically.
And technically, we're already in a recession, and next year, by the end of next year, we're fully in. A lot of things are going to be changing. A lot of people about to lose their jobs. We're trying to have you guys understand why are we having these videos on chasing the right bag, money management, adding skills, saving money.
Trying something different.
You're going to see why in a minute. We're about to go full-fledged into recession by the end of next year. Right. I wouldn't be surprised Bitcoin hit $5,000, and you guys know I'm dying to get in at 5. I wasn't interested at 68, but 5,000, I'm ready to get in. But people, you got to be smart about it. I hope you guys understand the value of what we did. Shout out to all the comments, all the people on YouTube, IG, Facebook.
Yeah.
People, don't forget to, if you want to support the movement, get on Spotify. You can sponsor $9.99 a month, and just, of course, sponsor what we're doing. Educate. It means a lot to us. Appreciate all of you who watch. Get on Spotify sponsors. Get on, of course, TikTok. Mentor me at 954. Follow me, of course, on IG. Follow him on IG, Mike the Advisor. Get on, of course, YouTube. Follow me, mentor me. We're on every platform, but we focus literally on YouTube. And now we're also going to be on TikTok a lot more. Yeah. And we're trying to really pump up Clubhouse.
Have these conversations. So we can really have y'all involved in these conversations.
For sure.
When we have these conversations, trying to get y'all into the right position with Bag. Introduce y'all to some recruiters. Hey, she is a recruiter for XYZ company. She's doing clinical research.
We're getting some big connections connected right now. So when we get into Clubhouse the right way, we're going to land some people in them rooms that This is the recruiters. What we're talking about.
Right.
We're fully connected with them. Here they go. You can talk to them
Yeah,
straight.
yeah.
DM on the back
Yeah.
end.
These are the
Talk
bags
to
they
them.
paying.
Yeah.
I think you need to figure
There
this
you
out.
go.
Here's the companies that's going to get you the skills. Okay, boom, boom. Get that right. 30 days later, come see me. We'll get you
Come on, that's it.
coming in and change your life overnight. But appreciate y'all. Listen, this was how to chase the right bag. Regardless of what you chase, you need to be focusing on how to increase your income, right? So you can have a better outcome. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate the love, people. MentorMe.com. Peace. Enjoy your night. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow or maybe next week. MentorMe.com.
Appreciate y'all.